A few days ago, I reviewed The Courier by Zenoscope Entertainment, and if you watch that video, you'll know that I was pleasantly surprised by that one. So, sticking with the Zenoscope theme, I was asked by one of you guys to review Shang, and well, challenge accepted. Going into this, I know nothing about this character, or the universe he's from, and a quick search shows me that he is indeed part of a larger universe. So I read through some plot synopsis and decided to go with the 2020 release called Shang, which is supposedly a prequel. Shang starts with Shang standing over a Chinese city, and we're told he is fighting to become the king. Yeah, you heard that right. The king of China. Now, Shang doesn't see himself as a king yet, but he does have this totally not evil seductress whispering in his ear, convincing him to fight. Again, she's totally not evil, right? We're then introduced to Shang's opposition, the young emperor Hua Hao. At this point, you should already see the later twist coming. Hua Hao is a kind leader who wants to stop the evil Shang from taking over China and end his tyrannical reign, and to avenge his father, who is now too old to fight. Hua's girlfriend convinced him that he has a better idea, to let her try and sneak into Shang's encampment and assassinate him. Hua doesn't like this idea, but agrees to let her go anyway. Now, this is where one of my big comic book gripes comes into play. Hua's girlfriend's assassination attempt is unsuccessful, leaving her kidnapped. And unfortunately, we don't get to see any of that. Instead, we're given a time skip to her being captured, with a dialogue box down the bottom telling us, to find out how Xia Ning was captured, read Grim Universe Presents 2020. Now, I've spoken about this before in my Why Comic Books Are Dying video, but for new comic book readers, or people who are new to a franchise, this kind of sales technique is a major turnoff. I feel like I've missed an important event in the story, and I don't know where or how I can even find this Grim Universe Presents 2020, and it's not like I can exactly rush down to the comic shop and ask if they have a copy. No, I want to read the story that's in my hands. So if you're going to do this, make sure the story you're linking to isn't breaking the flow of the story your audience is reading. Something like, to find out more about this Superman character, check out Superman issue number 1. That way, you're introducing a character and you're informing your audience that there is more story for that character if they want to know more, but you're not breaking up the current reading experience and making the reader feel like they missed out. You're just opening the door for further opportunity. But, I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Comment down below. So, anyway, Hua Hao's girlfriend is captured. So Shang decides, with assistance from the totally not evil witch that is, totally not evil, that now is the time to strike. So Hua Hao and Shang's armies clash on the battlefield. Unfortunately for Hua Hao, Shang has blackmailed Xia Ning's father. So he retreats from the field, leaving Hua Hao at a disadvantage. As the battle rages on, it's revealed to absolutely nobody's surprise that Hua Hao is actually Hua Mulan, that Mulan. So the battle rages on for a few more pages, and I have to be honest, the fight scenes in this are pretty good. There's a lot going on, it's very well drawn and very dynamic while also being easy to follow. It never feels particularly messy. And at this point in the battle, the totally not evil witch reveals herself to be a totally evil witch, who is actually playing both sides of the battlefield to distract the two so that she can become the king of China. The distraction is successful, and both Shang and Mulan get teleported into another dimension. Shang and Mulan then decide it's of their mutual interest to team up and fight the evil sorceress. Now, Shang and Mulan are now living in this other dimension for a few days when suddenly a forest fairy Gaia spirit, a magic forest person, shows up. Her name's Druana. Now, Druana informs Shang and Mulan that the sorceress is actually called Daji, and that Druana raised Daji as a child. Daji has powerful magical skills, which Druana attempted to teach her how to control, but didn't see the warning signs that Daji was turning evil before it was too late. Druana then informs Shang and Mulan that the place they were teleported to is called the Mist, and that she can get them out of the mist, but in order for them to get the power to create the portal, they must help her fight an evil spirit in the mountains. It's all a very convenient series of events. Now, like most of my reviews, I'm going to stop here so that if you do want to read this for yourself, I haven't spoiled the entire thing for you. The story goes on about as you would expect. It's a very safe, familiar story that you've probably read or seen a variation of before. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is what it is. In terms of the art, it holds up to the standards that I've come to expect from Zenescope. The characters are very well detailed, the colors pop, the characters' poses are great, and the action is well thought out. There's some great fantastical scenes going forward into this that I haven't shown. The page layouts are a bit safe though, but it's better to be safe than messy and create a bad experience for the reader. Another thing that I'd also like to point out is that some of the dialogue is a bit questionable. At first, I thought the writer was maybe English as a second language, or intentionally making the characters spoke in broken English, but I'm not sure about that. At the end of the day though, Shang was a fairly predictable but enjoyable story set in the underused world of Chinese folklore, even if it gets a lot of the details wrong. Shang runs for 3 issues and is a relatively quick read. So there you have it. If you're interested in this comic, I'll leave a link below where you can get it and support the creators. I'd also like to mention that I'm going to be doing a Q&A video about my upcoming comic book soon. So if you have any questions you'd like answered about that, leave them in the comments down below and I'll be sure to answer as many as I can in that video. As always, don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this one.